data types, and we want to understand, creating a new simple job and run the job and see the output, info, error, warning, all those things. And here we are going to see the same things tomorrow, because here we have few guys, who don't know Microsoft Dynamics X and who are kind of a bit pressures to the environment and the language. So we'll see a couple of basic programs today, one program, and tomorrow another program. We'll discuss a lot of things while writing the program and how the stuff is going to work. And remember, there is one important thing: whenever you are working with AX 2012, we used to have something called as P code, the X code, which will run on AOS server. Now there is no P code. Everything is CIL. Everything is CIL. So if you want to write some code and compile it, it will go as CIL. And the next thing is we have a lot of table properties, few EDT properties and few EDT nodes and few basin properties or some things are there, and the field properties of table. We are going to watch them after our tables methods are done. We will come back and see a few things interesting here and there. After the table methods are done, we have one more EDT property, data interactor factory, but we'll complete our methods, so that we need to write the code. We need to understand how to write the code in order to go there. So we'll do some stuff, learn some coding, come back to them and try to watch them, wrap up the EDTs and tables. Okay, it's 2 to 3 more days. Bear with me and we'll understand more things. Now let us add one class or a job. If you guys know, all of you guys know AX 2012, we used to call a job. Right click, add item, go to the code. We used to have something called as a job. This job is no more there in AX7. We call this as runnable class. Even jobs are classes. If you worked on AX6, you'll see right click new job, which is just like job name, and you're going to write some code, run that directly. But here it won't work. You need to have a class even for writing something smaller thing, and you want to run instantly. That is called as runnable class. Give whatever the name you want. I'll give as VPB3 underscore test class or my first class or whatever it is. Click on add. One second. Just taking time. Right. So watch now. If you take a runnable class, you are going to have one interesting or important method called as main. This is one thing you need to remember, right? So if there is a main, you created a class which can run, which can execute by itself. Otherwise, it cannot execute by itself. If you create even 100 or 1000 methods, the class will not start by itself. If you want to start a class by itself, you should have a method called as main. That's it, as simple as that. Now we got a method called as main. What can I do? I can write whatever the code I want, and I can simply build this, I can run this. We'll see how it's going to work. But before that, if you want to build only classes, you don't need to synchronize all the times. I don't know if synchronize is set. Yeah, it is set to true. Let us remove. We'll set this to false. You know why? Synchronize will take a lot of time. While you are trying to build the classes, you have only code. This code will not go and sit in SQL, so you don't need to synchronize. Right? That's very simple. And whatever you create will go and sit in Application Explorer as well as your folder structure. Remember. Now let us do one thing. We'll write one info, one warning, one error, one check failed, all this stuff, and we'll see how it's going to work. Info. Hello. This is for your information, and warning. This is for your warning, and check failed. This is set failed, and fourth one is error. I just want to share like show like all the stuff is still there. We don't have any error. Let us build and see if we still have any error. Build. I'm just writing only few things here. Info error was failed. These are all things we know. We want to see where it's going to display. The first problem is when I run this one, I'm sure it may throw error saying boss you didn't log into X or whatever it is. So let us copy the name of class and stuff and try to run again. One second, please. Right, the build is completed and was there. It completed in less than a minute. It's 40 seconds because we are not syncing. If you start syncing, you have a lot of tables. It has to sync, through all the tables. Now let me run this one. Simply click on start. Oh man, it will throw the error while starting. You know why? Because we don't have a proper startup object. Right. So it is saying you don't have a startup object. So when you have, first thing, if you have more than one project, you want to right click on the project and select the startup project, which project should start. So right click on the project, set as startup object is must. If you have, set as a startup project is must if you have more than one project. But as we have only one project, this is my startup project. The second thing, which object you want to run and see the output? That is the first question. You may have a lot of forms, lot of reports, lot of the classes and stuff. The two important objects which we are going to run directly are the classes and the forms. Forms and classes can be run directly, and even menu items you can run directly because mi equals to is there, and you have to right click and select which object you want to run. If you select right click, if you try to right click on table, I don't think you will see set as startup object. Is that there? Not there, right? If you go for form, you'll see that you have the form. You know how to develop a form. Just go and see. Now, if you go to the class, right click, set as startup object. Is that there? It is there, and you see that in the middle of the kind of place after cut, copy, paste, and delete, rename, all those things. You have that particular button, the set as startup object. You have to set something as startup object which can run, class can run because we have the main. And now let's run. We'll understand what is this public, static, void, all those things in future, but let's just go through the stuff. And if all of you know them, you can feel free to say we know them so that we can skip. If you don't know, you can learn. But trust me, you'll learn something. Okay, if you say like you want to learn again, you'll learn something. And tables, it's a bit slow because we have a lot of things in tables. Later on, we don't go this slow because we will be good. Okay, and as I was expecting, we got the error. Let us try to log in and see if it still throw the error. Yeah, we'll simply run our way. Okay, I just copied this stuff. If you watch here, I copied this. And was there the class equals to is given, right? And yeah, it is saying menu item equals to sys class runner, some internal stuff, and it is saying that the initial debug, all those things. Yeah, we don't care whatever it is, and it is giving the name of the class cls equals to. So if you give cls equals to, it's going to run the class, but mi equals to sys class runner is mandatory, otherwise it won't work. And yeah, you don't need to worry about this activity ID, all the stuff. These activity IDs are used by MS guys internally again for doing some debugging. If they ask you any activity ID or session information, I don't know if I told you ever, just give them that information. Whenever you log the ticket, better give the session information, and this is your session information. If you give this information, they can do debugging easily. If you give the time when you got the error or something, They'll do the investigation easily. So that's what you guys can do. Now let us try to stop this and run this. If it doesn't work, we'll run ourselves. Okay. Hold on a second. It will open. It should not throw the error ideally, right? You see that, right? The second time we didn't get the error. We simply are able to run without any issues because we logged into the same link and we minimized, and it found like the same session is being used and it is trying to kind of open the Internet Explorer without any error saying you are not logged in. So that's one thing I told you. If it throw the error, log in, minimize, don't close. If you close, again it will throw the error. Minimize and try to go to Visual Studio, stop and run again. It will fix the problem. Now you can run any number of times. It will not throw. It has created a session. Now what's there? You got error, info, warning, and check failed. All the things came there. If you check, you have two things here. The warning is also there. Right, both are in the same fashion. That's why maybe it has given in one line. So what's there? The first one is hello. This is for your information. Don't worry about the above one. I didn't give that info. The second one is hello. This is your check failed. Third one is hello. This is your warning. And the fourth one is hello. This is for your error. So we are able to use all of them, which are there in X 2002. So if someone has got a query, is there still X++, or it is some C# or something now? It may look like there is small difference between older version of writing the code, newer version of writing the code, but it is X++. It is X++. Now it will be X++ in future also. So don't worry about it. Microsoft never said they are going to move to C#. Only people started this. Like people started 10 rupee coin is not working. Who the hell told 10 rupee coin is not working yet? I don't know who started this. A lot of people are stopped taking 10 rupee coins, and even RBI told we didn't stop the 10 rupee coins. Same is the case here. People started saying it is C#. Microsoft never told it is C#. Okay, so that's all about your simple job where you can write some code and stuff. And now if you know dialog, all those things, yeah, you can simply try. But I want to go for few simple data types, do some addition and display the same in my info. I'll just remove these things. Let me comment. Right. I want to go for simple PTR program. Okay. And I want to show you how we are going to do the calculations and stuff. Again, it is one more simple program which we are going to write, run, and understand what it is doing, and keep a breakpoint and see how to debug. Okay. Finally, end of the day, we want to see how to debug also. Let's try. So I'm taking real values. Actually, you have to go with EDTs even in your code, but I'm just going for something. If you want to go for EDT, use amount MST, right? I'll say P equals to 1000 for easy stuff, and time equals to 1 year for easy calculation, and rate equals to, oh man, 1 second. Right, time equals to, and rate equals to, let's say 12%. Easy calculation. 1 year, 1000 rupees, 12%, you have to pay 120 rupees. And I want to go with one final variable. The variable is principal, time, rate, and simple interest. I'll say SI. Now let us go for one calculation. SI equals to P into time into rate, and what's there? It is all like your existing stuff. I think there is a built-in function called as rate. I don't know if it's going to take this. We'll say rate I. We'll keep as rate I. Okay, it may throw the error. If something is already there, don't use that. That is the point here. Now we got simple interest. Let us display the stuff. The same thing again. I'm just copying this info stuff, and yeah, the question is, we used to have strfmt to display the stuff. Do we still have strfmt? Yes, strfmt is there, and I'll say simple interest equals to %1 comma SI. That's it, as simple as that. and it is all X++. That is what I just want to show with these couple of things or 3-4 programs, whatever we are going to see. It is all X++, and we'll see the loops and stuff if there is any change, and we'll understand if the same loops are working or not. All those things, don't worry. Okay, every one of you are coders here, developers, whether X++ or non-X++, but you know some development basic stuff, and I'm just showing the same basic stuff. Now let us build this again. Whenever you change something, you have to build, save and build, and I'm habituated to use rebuild, as I told you a lot of times, but it's up to you whether you want to rebuild or build, both will work. Okay, I just want to clean everything, that's why I'll do rebuild a lot of times, and it will do the whole page stuff. Now we are good. Let me run this. It's running. Hold on a second. This has to go to Internet Explorer, sorry, IIS, and your AOS service, do some calculation there, come back. Oh man, what is this problem? I should have minimized again, huh? I don't know why we are getting the problem. Let us, keep this. What is the problem? This is one extra problem here. We'll log in, we'll keep this minimized and try here, okay? If it doesn't fix, I'll just run the link here. From tomorrow, we'll not get this problem because I'm moving to a new environment. This is my oldest environment. Good. I'm just running this. The class is VPB3 test class, and as simple as that, I'm running this. Let it run here. I don't need to worry about the usernames, passwords, all those things. And yeah, but you can watch here. It is one. What is this? We got 12,000 simple interest.
You haven't given by 100.
Oh, thank you for pointing. But still it is 1200, huh? Or 120. 12,000 by 100 is 120 maybe. Yeah, fine, thanks. I think I missed the formula itself, right? So let us, go and run once this is done. And remember one small thing, whenever you are trying to build, just remember one thing, it will reset your IAS, because whatever the DLL you are generating here will go and sit in IAS. And if it go and sit in IAS, unless it restart the IAS, it won't work. It will not pick your AOS service will not pick your new DLL. So that's why whenever you build, it will either reset IAS or at least stop and start your AOS service. And that's why if you go back to your kind of location like this, if you click on this, it takes time. It will ask, it got expired, all those things, in case if you are trying something, and it will take time, right? Why it is not running? Let me close this and open again. Let me run. Okay, so that is one thing you need to remember. And I'm going to debug in a while. Just only simply keeping a breakpoint and debug and try to understand whether it is debugging directly or not. And we have actually two ways of debugging. I want to tell you both the ways, but the second way I cannot show now. I'm going to show you when we are into the right time, when we go to forms. I'm going to show you, but now I'm going to tell both the ways. So you see here the simple interest equals to 120, and yeah, we made the wrong formula. I just gave wrong formula. Now we are good. It's working. So now let's get back to our business. We want to debug. How to debug? There are two ways to debug. What are those two ways? One is direct that is keep a break point. When I say breakpoint, don't type as breakpoint, just F9. Keep a breakpoint in Visual Studio Code and run the object as startup. This is 1. So keep a breakpoint, F9, and run this. Everyone will give the same answer, in interview. Whenever people ask in interviews, they'll say this is how they are going to debug. And lot of interviews know only this debugging way. That is one bigger problem. So that's why they are satisfied with the debugging way. But if you want to debug in some other way, you have some other way. Okay, let it throw the error. I don't care whatever it is, because I want to show how to debug, right? So let's focus on our business. Now, if you watch here, I'll keep a breakpoint. It will hit there once the unit starts executing, and you can say F10, F9, or whatever it is, F11, and go to the next step. Do like kind of debugging. You're better debugger. I'm going to show you the call stack and more debugging when we go to the classes and stuff. But right now, just do F10, 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 and see what all the things variables has got and stuff. This is one way. Now the question is, when I'm trying to open the environment which is already there here, for example, I'm trying to open a customer table or vendor table from your UI directly, and I want to debug that customer table or vendor table. Or I'm trying to open some form from customer table, say customer transactions. I'm clicking on some button. From there, I want to debug. How you are going to debug? A lot of people, they still used to say, yeah, I'll keep startup object as customer table and I'll try to run. That is bad news. That is bad, because you don't know how to debug, and you want to start or add a lot of objects into your project and start debugging from there. You don't need to do that. Instead, if you have a menu item and you want to debug something, clicking on a menu item, going deeper into something, you can open that object. Say for example, I have customer account table and I have a method, and assume this is the method because I don't have any other method. Assume this is the method. Keep the breakpoint, right? But don't keep this as startup object. Don't keep this as startup object. So you may ask, what should I keep as startup object in this case? Your form or your other stuff, keep that as startup object. And your code is not the startup object. Your class is not the startup object. Your customer table or vendor table form is the startup object. And go to the debug. You have something called as attach process. Click on this attach process and attach a process called as W3WP. Attach the process called as WP. Remember this point. This is the right way of debugging, and this is the actual way of debugging we have to follow when we are going deeper into some forms, some methods, and then open some other form on this, because we don't want to start with customer table to debug button in the customer trans. We want to keep the breakpoint with customer trans button, but we want to open from the UI. A lot of times you will get some inputs from AX while trying to open to run from Visual Studio. You may not get those inputs, so better you can go for this one. And if you want to debug the batch job, I'm going to tell you how to debug batch job when we go to batch, but still you have batch.exe here. Attach this process and it's going to debug the batch job. Now let us try to simply attach this W3WP. If you don't find this W3WP, click on show process. It has to show. Right? Once you are selecting the W3WP and everything is good, click on attach. Somehow this attach is disabled in my case for whatever reason, but it should not be. Oh, I think it is already attached here. Why it is attached? Because it is in debugging mode. Watch. I stop this and attach. Debug, attach to process, and W3WP, which attaches there. Click on attach. Right? So that's it. Very simple. It takes a while. It has to load some symbols, and that is called as loading the symbols. If it loads the symbols, you will get this in dark red. Watch again. When I try to attach, initially you will see hollow red colored circle, and once you Once it attaches the files, you'll see loading symbols. Once it loads the symbols, it will show in dark red, right? Fully means solid red. And if you don't see that solid red, you cannot debug. As simple as that. And when you will not see the solid red, sometimes it will not load the symbols. It cannot load the symbols. In that case, it may show, miss this solid red. So I want you guys to try this. And if you have any problem with the symbols, come back with the queries, and we'll try to do some digging. And I'm going to show you where to attach the symbol. By default, it should load. But yeah, if it is not loading, I'll tell you where to attach or load the symbol stuff. How to load the symbol. Okay. So this is all your basic, very basic coding. We are going to see a couple of more programs tomorrow before we go further, and we'll continue with the rest of the stuff, the methods, inserts, deletes, all those things, and we may go for one if program, one for loop, one while loop, one other loops, because you guys already know the looping and stuff. We are going to see a couple of programs on each of them, while, for, do, while, all those things, to say everything is said. I don't want to go and say like, okay, I want to teach you some basics. So it is just the X++ way, but how it transformed from X 2027 and stuff. And yeah, it is just all part of upgrading and stuff. So we want to see what are the changes there in each of the nodes, and that is what we are watching now, and same is the case in future. It is all upgrading, right? Attaching the process W3 WP. You want to see again? It is very simple. Go to the debug and click on attach to process, and you have to pick show all the processes, otherwise it will not show because they are in some other users also. And select W3 WP, click on attach. That's it. It will attach the process. Okay. So, and yeah, while attaching, it will load some symbols, and that is what you are watching. Loading symbols is loading some DLLs or PDB files, and that's it. Very simple. Okay. So this is all about your.
Can I ask a couple of questions in this one? Actually, what I have faced, like personally, first thing, like when you go to attach the process, there is another one called IIS Express, right? So sometimes it shows W3 WP, sometimes it shows just the IIS Express. So like,
okay,
what is
one question at a time. So I'll tell you what is that, right? So W3 WP is a full version of IIS, and IIS Express is express version of IIS. Nowadays, in the latest versions of AX for AOS, to deploy the AOS, Microsoft came up with IIS Express instead of the full version of IIS. You know SQL Server, right? SQL Server has got two versions. The SQL Server full, either data center or professional or whatever it is, and SQL Server Express. These Express versions are limited to give some operations and whatever they are told to do. That's it. They are not heavy stuff. But yeah, Express is enough for IIS. They thought so. Express is enough for Microsoft Dynamics. That is what they thought. And they thought, why to go with full IIS? Because IIS will have a lot of internal things to do, and it will consume a lot of memory or processing power. Instead, they thought, let us come with IIS Express. And IIS Express is not in production. Only in your dev boxes, whatever you are downloading, you are getting IIS Express. Got it?
So what is this expected to be like? Is it W3 WP which will be in the dev boxes, or IIS Express, like any version that you're configuring now?
IIS Express. Now, if you watch my environment, it is on 7.3 or 7.2. That's why I see W3 WP. But as you told, like few newer environments, I was watching and I heard from other guys also. They got the iOS service in IIS Express. So when it is IIS Express, you don't need to attach W3 WP. Try to attach IIS Express.
Okay, but the thing that I was alternatively getting like sometimes W3 WP and sometimes IIS Express on the very same box. It was my project VM actually.
I'll tell you, first thing, you have to check whether your stuff is hosted on IIS Express or IIS full version. Whether your AOS service is hosted on IIS full version or IIS Express. Go to the INET manager, you will see. Now the second thing, if you open the, sometimes I don't see the W3 WP IIS Express, both of them. I don't know why it was not showing initially. I was expecting like whenever I start worldwide for publishing, it has to show. That is expectation. But it is not running unless you browse some site, some website. I'm just trying to go to the Internet Explorer. I'm browsing my site, UNC1box AX or whatever it is, and then I see this W3WP or IS Express, whatever it is. Okay, any environment posted on, and I'm able to attach that. That is what I face. So if you didn't browse even one time, if you stopped IAS services and or restarted machine, and if you didn't browse even a single site, sometimes it is not showing. It is not bug or something. Maybe the internet information server or IAS server, whether it is express or full version, it is not loaded into the memory or the process is not picked up until you browse a service. Maybe that is the kind of style it's going to work. I cannot comment on that because I don't know if Microsoft has got some internal architecture which I'm not aware of. Okay, just browse one site. You should see IIS Express or W3WP, whatever it is. But if it is on W3WP, the meaning is IIS full version, you have to attach W3WP. Attaching IIS you want to work. And if your AOS service is on Express version, if you attach W3WP, it's of no use again. Go and attach IIS Express. You need to figure out where it is. But I'm assuming when IIS Express is there, it is on IIS Express because the latest versions they gave on IIS Express.
And the other thing was like after attaching also the symbols were not loading, like in our custom project that we created, those symbols were not loading even despite like trying to load it manually. Like most of the time we were facing issues that it is not hitting that breakpoint. So sometimes after restarting the like box or doing a full compilation, it starts working, it starts loading it correctly. But that is something that we face. So like, have you seen?
Yeah, that is that happened sometimes, not now, before few days back. But nowadays it's good from past 6 months or 1 year. I don't know if you still have the problem, but yeah, you can just do one thing: go to these symbol servers and files, and try to load the stuff, whatever it is,
Yes.
and right. So just add the location related to your stuff, whatever the kind of symbols you want to add, and that is one thing you can do. And you can say only specified modules or all the modules, and all the modules will take a lot of time. Say 15 or 20 minutes, that is bigger problem. So better go for only specified modules, and yeah, it's going to work. Ideally, it has to work. And you may have some kind of settings in this one also, like debugging. You can see load the symbols only for the items in the current solution. That is one more problem. If you set that, it will load only the symbol files related to the current solution. And if you are trying to debug the application suite or something, some other models, it may not load those symbols. And if you keep a breakpoint there, it may not work. So these settings should help you. Just remove these load symbols only for the current items. And the second one, go to the other window, the debugging symbols, and add your symbols locations. Symbols are just you'll find in the DLL location. The same bin folder, give that bin folder, add the folders, and it should work. If you still have the problem, you can share the screen. We'll figure out what is the problem.
Okay. Yeah, we actually tried all these. Like it was acting so weird that we contacted Microsoft also, but they took a lot of time, but did not give any kind of resolution.
When you contact Microsoft, the problem is you are contacting the CSS folks, customer support folks,
Yeah.
who are not technical guys, who are not technically equipped. They are more of functional.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you spoke with them and you'll understand the guys. You don't get my kind of technical guys. You'll get the functional guys. They are equipped, they are experts, but they'll fix any functional problems.
Yeah,
If
they
you
don't
get some
want.
technical,
Yeah, they keep asking some weird questions. Like
is it customized?
they
Right.
kept actually suggesting press F5. You should be able to debug. Like Swiss.
That I'll tell you, they want to close the ticket. The focus is on closing the ticket. Okay. They'll have time to close the ticket, and the SLS, all those things. They want to close the ticket, and they are giving some solution. That is what they are thinking, but they are not giving the solution you want. That is what you understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so try these settings and see if you are able to fix them. Run as admin and try these settings. If you still have a problem, you want to share the screen. As you told, it is your office mission. I don't know if you can share the screen, but try to repro in your VM local box now, today. You are downloading the VM, try to repro there and see if you are able to repro. Come back with the query saying, hey, it is not working in my VM. I'm going to fix that in your VM. You can simulate the same thing in your office. Fine?
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, so cool. That's all for the day here, and yeah, try this and come back with the questions. And if you still have any questions or errors or problems or whatever it is, we'll fix them. We'll continue with the next step. And from tomorrow, we are going to see some coding stuff. And yeah, we want to close till table methods and table properties and edit a few basic things. Once we are done with them, we are good. We'll be into speed. The next thing, macros, classes, all those things, they'll just run like anything. The problem is tables, they'll go slow because tables has got a lot of things. If we are very good at tables, till tables, if we practice more and we are good, very good, rest of the things, they'll be easy for us. Okay, I want you guys to come up with the VMs as soon as possible because we got the problems. Try again, and if you get the problem, just ping me on WhatsApp. We'll connect tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. because the class is at 7:30. We'll connect at 7 a.m. We'll fix those problems, then we'll continue. Clear, right? Okay, good. I hope that should be clear. So I'm signing off for the day, and we'll meet again tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. I'll inform the front office to update you guys with the new links or whatever it is. Please join there. If somehow you got any miscommunication or you're not able to join the links, all those things, please ping in the WhatsApp. A WhatsApp group is created for the same thing, right? And we are around 10+1 guys, but I see, only 8 guys only 8 or 9 folks are there in WhatsApp. Just add yourself, right? Thank you for the time. We'll meet again tomorrow. Till then, bye. Enjoy, practice. Ending the meeting for all.